Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 6th of June 2023. I'm a day late again because my house is currently being done up, so it's never really quiet for the past week, so I have an hour of peace, so I thought I would go do this review now. And also the end transmission chapter comes out next week. I'm going to be getting it day one, and then hopefully this work in the house will be done by next week. So I'm hoping to get another gameplay video out with the Singularity because I honestly cannot wait for that killer. I haven't felt this way in ages where I'm really excited for a killer or chapters to come out because I just really like the look of that killer and how it plays. So anyway, let's get started. First of all, we have Alert, which is a Feng perk, and I can't wait to talk about this because this is honestly one of my favorite survivor perks in this entire game, probably one of my favorite perks in this game, period. It's so simple, but it's so effective, and as a solo queue player, it's really helpful as well. This perk activates every time the killer breaks a pallet or breakable wall or kicks a gem, and it reveals their aura to you for 5 seconds. And this literally can happen at any time. This set, like, there's no cooldown, there's no range limit, there's no like quirks to it. It's literally just if the killer presses the button to break or kick, then you'll see their aura for 5 seconds. And I just think, especially for solo queue, that's so helpful because you don't have teammates to tell you where the killer is or what killer it is. Because a lot of maps have like really annoying breakable walls, like Midwich and Dead Dog. They have a lot of like breakable walls everywhere, and some of them you have to get rid of. So if the killer spawns in a building like that at the start and they immediately go kick a gen, you know where the killer is right at the start, and you know which killer it is as well because it's the aura, so it has the outline. And brilliant perk, absolutely brilliant perk. Can't recommend it enough. It's honestly amazing. Next up, we have Flip Flop, which is a Ashley perk. This one is not so amazing. This one is so while you're in the dying state, half of your recovery progression is converted into wiggle progression. And then when you get picked up, you'll already have a certain amount of wiggle progress, if that makes sense, because of you recovering in the dying state. It reaches a 50% total wiggle progression because obviously it can't go all the way. So basically, if you're on the ground and you recover like 99%, you get picked up, and then it's like 49% or something, I guess. Or if it's 25%, no, it would be. You get what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's literally what it says. Your recovery speed gets turned to wiggle progression. I think this one's okay. It's definitely on the weaker side because it's such a unreliable perk. It's the problem with Boon. Oh my god, what's it called? Boon Exponential, Unbreakable, Tenacity, everything like that. Because if you're not getting slugged and you're not getting time to either recover, then this perk doesn't do anything, and it can't do anything because it relies on you being slugged and it relies on you getting that progress. Also, the problem as well is like if you're recovering in hopes to get picked up, but then a survivor picks you up, then obviously it resets it because you're healed. So it doesn't work that way either. So basically, it's just a really unreliable perk. I get what they mean for it, because you're meant to use it with, again, those unbreakable perks and stuff like that. And also Power Struggle, because Power Struggle relies on wiggle progress to activate. So if you get a little bit more extra wiggle progress, then you activate that sooner. So I get what they're going for with this perk. I just think like the other slugging perks, it kind of just is unreliable and you can't really rely on it to get you out of situations. That's just me personally, but I just think, it's quite weak. Next up, we have I'm All Ears, which is a Ghostface perk. This one's been on a lot of times. And every time a survivor fast vaults within 48 meters of your location, you'll see their aura for 6 seconds, and then it goes on cooldown. This one, I would spend long on it because I've talked about it before, but it's good. It's best on Pyramid Head, basically, because Pyramid Head can obviously shoot a giant trail from at the ground, and if a survivor vaults a window and is hidden behind the wall, you can still see where they are. You can basically predict where they are and where they're going to go, and you can get some cheeky hits through the windows. But that doesn't mean it's just for him. Huntress is good for this as well because it lets you see when survivors are going to try a mind game and when they're hiding behind corners and stuff. Deathslinger, I guess. Ghostface himself probably isn't great. I suppose every killer can use this to try and do a mind game with the red stain. But I think those kind of rage killers are the best for this because that means they can do more with their power and with the information they have. Yeah, it's easy to trigger. 48 meters is a really big location, so you'll see people from like ages away, especially on the smaller maps. And yeah, it's fun. It's like decent, like it is good, but it's only good on some killers. For other killers, it's just decent or just straight up bad. But yeah, I think overall it's decent. I would say it's not like it's not like a levels of alert, but it's not the depths of flip flop either. That's what I'll say. And finally, we have Hoarder, which is a twins perk. This one has so survivors reveal their location when they interact with a chest or when they pick up items within 64 meters of your location, and also spawns in more chests, which sounds like a bad thing, but obviously more chests means more value from Hoarder, so there's that. And I think this one, again, I feel like I get what they're going for with it. I honestly do, and I can see the value in it, I guess, but I just think overall it's quite bad. I think because it's not auras, it's like the bubble thing for location. It's not the auras, so it's not as specific as it could be. 64 meters is nice, but if survivors aren't opening chests a lot, then you're not getting a whole lot of value from this. This is good for killers who um, not rely on items, but they have items within their power basically. So think of the Resident Evil killers with like the vaccines and the first aid sprays. Pinhead is really popular for this with his lament configuration because those count for the items. Those count for the items and not just like normal items because they are counted as items. So for those killers, I guess it is nice. And I think with when it says it begins with up to 2 additional chests, I don't think that counts for like the Resident Evil case things, I guess. And this will also work for the Singularity as well, because the Singularity has that, he has the special cases and the EMPs. EMPs are the items that you pick up. So I guess it will count for him as well, or it, sorry. And I guess you could use it for that. I don't know, but I just don't think, again, for like a perk slot, like I don't think it's that helpful. I think on any other killer, it's just bad. So I don't know if you're like a dedicated Nemesis or Wesker or Pinhead main, then definitely get it. But if not, then don't worry about it. You're not missing out on a lot, basically. So I would say Alert is the only thing you should get here because Feng is a paid character. If you do not have this already, please get this and just get it to as high a level as you can because it's honestly brilliant. It's so useful. I think again mainly for solo queue. I haven't really played this with Survive friends. I don't think it would be as good because you can just have teammates tell you where they are and what killer it is. But this perk's great either way. And I think these other ones are just okay. I think these two especially are quite weak, almost bad, I would say. This one is weak. I wouldn't say it's bad. I did say it was straight bad before, but no. I think it's just, I think you have to use this on the right killers. I think if you use it on the wrong killer, then it is bad because you can't really do a whole lot with it. And there's obviously some loops where you can always see the survivors, so getting 6 seconds of aura is not like that helpful because like I can see them anyway. And the cooldown, 40 seconds is quite hefty. I still think I've been saying this for years, but I still think that needs to get like nerfed or removed or something. Not removed, but they could reduce this to like 20 seconds. Alert doesn't even have a cooldown. That's like a crazy good perk. So guys, that'll do from me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this useful, and I hope to see you next week.